In the ancient kingdom of Macedon, in the year 356 BC, a legend was born. His name was Alexander. Born to King Philip II and his wife Olympias, Alexander came into a world ripe with power and potential. From a young age, he displayed an uncanny knack for leadership and a courage that belied his years. His parents, recognizing his potential, enlisted the services of the best tutor they could find. And who better than Aristotle, the most revered philosopher of the time? Under Aristotle's guidance, Alexander's mind blossomed. He developed a thirst for knowledge and a burning ambition that would one day lead him to greatness. Alexander, even as a child, showed signs of courage and ambition that were far beyond his years. He sought to prove himself not just as a prince, but as a future king, a leader, a conqueror. Young Alexander was not aware, but his destiny was already being shaped for a grand future. At the tender age of 20, Alexander was thrust into a world of power and responsibility. With the sudden and tragic assassination of his father, King Philip II, the young prince found himself stepping into the shoes of a monarch. His ascension to the throne wasn't without its challenges. Tensions were high, the kingdom was in turmoil, and the threat of rebellion loomed large. In the face of these adversities, Alexander displayed remarkable courage and strategic acumen. He acted swiftly to consolidate his power, eliminating potential threats and quelling rebellions with a firm hand. His decisive actions and charismatic leadership won him the loyalty and respect of his subjects, further strengthening his hold on the throne. With the royal court under his control, Alexander turned his attention to his father's unfinished mission, the conquest of the mighty Persian Empire. This was no small task. The Persians were formidable opponents with vast resources and a formidable army. Yet Alexander was undeterred. His ambition was unwavering, his resolve unshakable. To prepare for the impending campaign, he spent countless hours studying his enemy, devising strategies, and training his troops. He knew that the road ahead was fraught with challenges, but he was ready to face them head-on. With the throne firmly under his control, Alexander was ready to embark on his grand journey. With an unyielding spirit and a thirst for conquest, Alexander set his sights on the vast Persian Empire. Aged only 20, he ascended to the throne of Macedon, ready to complete his father's unfinished mission. Alexander's determination was like a roaring fire, an unstoppable force that would soon engulf the world. His military campaigns were masterpieces of strategy and execution. At the Battle of Granicus, he overcame a formidable Persian army with tactical brilliance, marking his first significant victory. The battles of Issus and Gaugamela followed, where Alexander's innovative strategies and fearless leadership led to decisive victories against the Persians. These battles were not just conquests. They were statements of Alexander's indomitable will and military genius, but his ambitions didn't stop at Persia. Alexander's dream was to unite the world under one banner, and so his army marched on. From the sunny coasts of Greece to the exotic lands of Egypt, and from the grand cities of Persia to the mystic realms of India, Alexander's empire grew. His name echoed through the valleys and over the mountains, across deserts and rivers, instilling awe and fear in the hearts of his foes. The territories he conquered were diverse, each with its unique cultural fabric. Yet, under Alexander's rule, they were woven together into a tapestry of unity and mutual respect. His vision of a united world was slowly becoming a reality, one conquest at a time. But Alexander's journey was not just about power and domination. He was a liberator, a visionary, and a harbinger of change. He sought to reshape the world, to break down the walls of division, and to create a world where diverse cultures could coexist and flourish. His conquests were not just about power, they were about reshaping the world. Yes, Alexander was a conqueror, but he was much more than that. He was a dreamer, a leader, and a trailblazer whose legacy would forever change the course of history. Alexander was not just a conqueror, he was also a visionary, a leader who saw beyond borders and cultures. This statement rings true when we delve into Alexander's concept of Hellenism. A testament to his far-sightedness, Hellenism was his ambitious plan to amalgamate the diverse cultures of his conquered territories. This wasn't just about achieving political unity. Alexander aspired to foster cultural and intellectual exchanges, creating a melting pot of ideas, art, and science. As an astute administrator, Alexander managed his vast empire with a deft hand. He placed competent locals in positions of power, introduced Greek as a common language, and established cities that became cultural hubs. These cities, often bearing his name, were designed to be models of Greek culture, complete with grand theatres, gymnasiums, and libraries. But perhaps the most remarkable aspect of Alexander's administration was his respect for the cultures he had conquered. He encouraged his soldiers to marry local women, adopted Persian dress and customs himself, and even paid homage to Egyptian gods. This cultural fusion, this Hellenism, was more than just a political strategy. It was a testament to Alexander's belief in the possibility of a united world, where diverse cultures could coexist and learn from each other. The fruits of this cultural amalgamation were immense. The fusion of Greek, Egyptian, and Persian cultures led to significant advancements in various fields. In philosophy, new schools of thought emerged. In art, the Hellenistic period gave birth to a more naturalistic and emotional style. In science, the groundwork was laid for major breakthroughs in medicine, astronomy, and mathematics. Under Alexander, the world saw a new era of cultural and intellectual growth. His vision of a united world, his respect for diverse cultures, and his ambition to foster intellectual exchange marked the dawn of the Hellenistic age, an era that left an indelible mark on the canvas of human civilization. His legacy, therefore, is not just that of a conqueror, but that of a visionary who dared to dream of a world united in its diversity. Alexander's journey was not without its share of challenges. As he marched his army across the sprawling landscapes of Asia, he encountered a myriad of trials and tribulations. From the scorching deserts of Egypt to the rugged mountains of Persia and the dense jungles of India, the terrains were as diverse as they were unforgiving. The climates were no less challenging, fluctuating between extremes of searing heat and biting cold. Yet it was not just the harsh environments that tested Alexander's mettle. Even within his own ranks, he faced dissent. There were internal rebellions, power struggles, and even assassination plots. His mission to conquer the world was colossal, and it took a toll on his troops physically and mentally. But this is where Alexander's true greatness shone through. His leadership was unwavering, his charisma magnetic. He had a unique ability to inspire loyalty among his men, to make them believe in his vision, to rally them to keep pushing even when the odds were stacked against them. He led from the front, sharing in their hardships, their victories, and their defeats. He had a profound understanding of human nature, a keen ability to motivate and galvanize his troops. He turned challenges into opportunities, adversity into advantage. His indomitable spirit and relentless resolve became the fuel that drove his army forward, closer to their shared dream of world conquest. Even in the face of adversity, Alexander's spirit remained unbroken. At the age of 32, Alexander's remarkable journey came to an untimely end. A sudden illness struck him in Babylon, and within a short span of 11 days, the invincible conqueror breathed his last. The circumstances surrounding his death remain shrouded in mystery and are a topic of ongoing debate among historians. Some believe it to be the result of a fever, others suggest poison, while some theories even point to a possible malignant fever. But regardless of the cause, his death marked a turning point in history. With Alexander's demise, the vast empire he painstakingly built stood at a precarious crossroads. He left behind no designated heir, and the question of succession led to a power vacuum. His generals, known as the Diadochi, or successors, vied for control, each hoping to carve out a piece of the empire for themselves. The power struggle that ensued was brutal and marked by a series of wars that lasted for over 40 years. The empire that once stretched from Greece to Egypt and India was fragmented into several Hellenistic states. These states, though smaller, echoed the cultural amalgamation that Alexander had initiated, spreading Hellenism far and wide. But the fragmentation also meant that the unified front that Alexander's empire presented to the world was lost. The once mighty empire was now a collection of competing states, each with its own ambitions and agendas. This upheaval significantly impacted the geopolitical landscape, setting the stage for a new era in history. Yet despite the division and chaos, Alexander's influence persisted. His military strategies continued to be studied and emulated. His cities flourished, and his vision of cultural fusion lived on. The world he had known had changed, but the echoes of his rule resonated through the ages. Alexander's legacy, however, lived on, continuing to shape the world long after his demise. His incredible journey, from a young prince to one of the greatest conquerors in history, serves as a testament to his indomitable spirit and vision, a beacon reminding us of the heights that human ambition and wisdom can reach. From a young prince to a world conqueror, Alexander's journey was nothing short of extraordinary. He transformed the world, etching his name into the annals of history. His military genius, his vision of cultural unity, his indomitable spirit, all combined to create an empire that stretched from Greece to Egypt and far beyond. Alexander's legacy is not just in the vast lands he conquered, but in the cultural fusion he championed. His concept of Hellenism brought together diverse civilizations, fostering advancements in art, architecture, philosophy, and science. His influence echoes through time, shaping the modern world as we know it. Yet, his story reminds us of the human cost of ambition. His untimely death and the subsequent fragmentation of his empire serve as reminders of the fleeting nature of power. Alexander the Great's story continues to captivate us, reminding us of the power of ambition, wisdom, and indomitable spirit.